In this video, we'll look at whether aluminum sulfate, Al2SO4 is ionic or covalent. The short answer is that the entire compound itself, this is an ionic compound. But when we look at the bonds between the sulfur and the oxygen atoms, those bonds, they'll be covalent. So on the periodic table, aluminum right here, that's a metal, and we have sulfur and oxygen. Here's sulfur and here's oxygen. Those are nonmetals. So we have a metal and then two nonmetals. That'll give us an ionic compound. And because it's an ionic compound, we really need to think about the charges on the ions. So aluminum right here, this is in group 13, sometimes called 3A. It has a 3+. So each aluminum here has a 3+ ionic charge. The sulfate ion, SO4, that always has a 2-. That 2- ionic charge is on the whole sulfate ion, 2-. And we have 3 of these sulfate ions. 3 times 2-, that gives us 6-, 2 times 3 plus 6+. So you can see that these charges balance out. We have a net charge of 0. And because we have these positive aluminum ions and these negative sulfate ions, they're attracted to each other. They're opposite charges, and that's what forms the ionic bond. Let's talk about the sulfate ion here. So we said sulfur, that's a nonmetal. Oxygen, that's also a nonmetal. Nonmetal plus a nonmetal gives us a covalent bond. This is also called a molecular bond. So the bond here within this sulfate, sulfur bonded to the oxygen, those bonds are covalent. But overall, because we have these positive aluminum ions and the negative sulfate ions, overall, this is an ionic compound. This is Dr. B discussing whether aluminum sulfate, Al2SO4 is ionic or covalent. Thanks for watching.